Hundreds of people have uploaded videos on their favorite games, or the best games from each console, and millions of people have played these games. But what about games that might not be known to the whole world, outside of Mario, Zelda, and Metroid? My name is Mike, and today we are going to be looking at the top 5 hidden gem games on the Nintendo 64. Now, some of these games are going to be a little bit more well known than others. Heck, some of them might not be technically considered a hidden gem, but hey, when you guys give me an actual definition of the term hidden gem, I'll follow those guidelines. Also, this list is obviously going to be my opinion, and if you guys can get your hands on these games, I definitely recommend you guys giving them a try, because it'd be totally worth it. The first game on this list is Gex 64, or Gex Enter the Gecko. It's a 3D platformer game originally released for the PlayStation in February 1998, with a later release on Nintendo 64 in August, renamed to Gex 64, for obvious reasons. The game was a sequel to the side-scrolling first game simply titled Gex for the 3DO, PlayStation, Sega Saturn, and PC. The gameplay is standard for the time, with some unique elements like bouncing on your tail and eating flies. The main appeal of the game was that it was modeled after Super Mario 64, and with its parody references, it makes for a funny yet entertaining game. Honestly, I don't really get all the references that they made in the game, and to be frank, a lot of the references will be outdated nowadays.
Look, I just wanted the gift shop and the bathroom.
But it was really cool to get all the TV controllers kind of like in Super Mario 64, and the diversity of the levels is really great. This game definitely is deserving of being on this list. Okay, number 4.
Fighter's Destiny.
Wait, what did he say?
Fighter's Destiny.
Oh, okay. I get it. Fighter's Destiny is a 2D. 3D? No. Well, it's 2D, but you can move in 3D? Yeah, I think that's it. Yes, it's a 2D fighter with 3D elements, but they're actually kind of nice. Everyone knows tournament fighters, and they're always fun. Okay, they're almost always fun. Fighter's Destiny is a lesser-known fighting game from Genki. Genki? I don't know. Anyways, the game is pretty standard, but has a few interesting points about it that make the game unique. And I chose that word points very specifically. The game actually has a point system to win the rounds as opposed to just killing the other player. You actually receive points or stars based on how you knock down the other player. There are throwdowns where you just pick them up and throw them down, knockdowns, which is a unique move that's an instant KO, normal KO when the player loses their health, and special attacks. These special attacks are awesome and are unique to every single character. Ringouts can also occur, but they're not game-ending like other games. I love the characters in this game. They're all pretty unique and have their own very intense set of moves. My favorite mode, however, is the Master Challenge, where you fight the Master to unlock new skills and gain the rank of Master. This mode also has another character where if you fight and lose to him, you lose the game. This character is my favorite in the entire game, but frig is he hard. Overall, I could literally spend an entire video talking about this one game, because we even skipped a lot of features like where you fight a cow.
Wait. Starting player 1.
And the game can be a little bit unfair with some broken moves and stuff.
Amazing! Starting player 2. Oh no! 4 points, 1.
But it's overall a great fighting game, and even came out with a sequel, which is literally the same exact game, so don't even bother with it. Stick to the first one. Alright, number 3, Shadows of the Empire. This is one of the games where you're thinking, yeah, I don't think that's technically a hidden gem. Yeah, I mean, I don't care. Star Wars Shadows of the Empire is a spin-off game that takes place during the events of Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and before the events of Return of the Jedi. It is a third-person shooter/platformer game, and even though it has some things about it that can be really annoying, it's really a fun addition to the Star Wars series. Now I have one question for you. Is this game canon? Well, I've yet to find out a legit answer, but overall, a lot of aspects of the game and characters are in the canon Star Wars universe. So the story elements of the game are not canon, but the characters are. And I guess I'm okay with that. But let's look into the game itself. It's a great game, but it's obviously dated with its clunky controls and bad camera. I mean, the aiming for the blaster is just horrible. Look at this! Look at these camera angles. What is this, the look cool but non-playable theatrical version? Okay, let's stop nitpicking and crapping on the game. Overall, this game is really cool. It has a lot of fun levels. I mean, this is one of the first games that I actually saw and felt like I was in the movie. I remember going around the levels to try to find the challenge points and secrets within the game. All of the different hidden health packs and gun upgrades were cool to look for. Also, one big point was that it was one of the first games where it was actually open to explore. Sure, Shadows of the Empire had a linear storyline. All the other Star Wars games were 2D side-scroller games or flying racing games, and they were just linear. It was a nice change of pace from the other Star Wars games that were out at the time. So obviously, you know my feelings behind the game, but with the charm of early 3D games comes, that lack of perfection that was still kind of nice to see. Holy crap, this game needed to be an actual series. Destruction Derby is a racing game where the main goal is to destroy other cars. Yes, you heard that right. You need to blow up cars, but not like with a gun or explosives, with your own car. That's crazy! This game is easily one of the most unique games at its release. I mean, every other racing game at the time was just get to the goal, get first place. But in this game, it doesn't matter what place you're in, it matters how many points you have, and that's awesome. Oh my gosh, that is so satisfying. I also love how they have other arenas where it's just a big pit. You just have to circle around and try to outlast other drivers. Even 2-player mode had some unique modes like bomb mode where you pass the bomb to other cars. How sick is that?
Player 2 has the bomb! Player 1 has the bomb!
I really love how innovative this game was. It was actually pretty cool. The fact that you can see where you took damage on your car and where you were hit can damage your car more or less than other places, it was really a nice thing to see. I also love how you can unlock a ton of other cars, and each of them have different stats, until you get the most OP car in the game. Just look at this thing, it's almost perfect. And why do they make an ambulance the most durable car on the planet? I mean, come on, is this thing a friggin' tank? Oh boy, the game of my childhood. The most rented game at the video store until I unwrapped it on Christmas. Battle Tanks Global Assault. Battle Tanks Global Assault is a freaking tank shooter game with an epic campaign and an awesome multiplayer mode. I love this game. It's so good. Basically, you are a tank, and you do various missions across the entire world with famous landmarks and locations you can recognize easily. Some of the missions include just killing everyone not on your team, rescuing prisoners, retrieving data, and even escorting a convoy to safety. You have a choice of like 12 different tanks, and each of them are very unique. From a very fast, yet weak tank, to the Goliath. Slow, but a powerful as frig tank. I could go on about this game for hours. Honestly, the storyline is kind of weak, but you don't really care about that because the levels are so much fun. I mean, just look at this game.
Nuke deployed.
But I do have one thing to warn you about. Stay away from the PlayStation version. This version is horrible! Also, the first Battle Tank's pretty bad too. Yeah, I don't know what 3DO was doing before and after the N64 version. Yeah, the company that made that abomination called the Panasonic 3DO, and since they went bankrupt in 2003, I really don't see another Battle Tanks game coming to any console. That just makes me sad. Well, that's it. 5 hidden gems that are on the Nintendo 64. I was going to include a couple other games. One of the biggest choices I actually had was actually going to be Star Wars Pod Racer, but I think that game did pretty well, and I didn't want 2 Star Wars games on this list. Before I let you go, I just want to remind you guys all that I do live streaming right here on YouTube almost every single day on my YouTube channel, Mike Can't Game. Also, if you like this video enough, please hit that like button and leave me a comment. Tell me what one of your games that you would... I almost had that. Please hit that like button and let me know what hidden gems are your favorite video games on the Nintendo 64, and hopefully within the next few weeks we'll go to other consoles so I can tell you all of the hidden gem games that I like. But for now, we will see you next time. Bye.